Hi guys, today I am going to make a tutorial on how to make a brush as the pattern you want the dress to be. I do fashion tutorials. I'm not a Procreate expert, as I've said previously, but I do like shortcuts. So instead of going in, making all the little patterns in this dress, maybe duplicating it, having a brush that just makes it is a lot easier, and it's really not very time consuming once you have made it like so. You see? Especially when it comes to lace, floral patterns, etc, etc. So what you do, and it only takes about 5 minutes. It of course depends on what kind of fabric or wallpaper you need to do. You create a new canvas. You do 10 by 24 times 10 by 24, like so. What you do is, what I do anyway, you can scan in your fabric, or you can just take a picture of it, have it in your camera roll. I insert a photo. I like to have it as a background just to make sure that I, have it similar as I want to be. Do like this, you do another layer on top of it. Very important, you have to use a lime green color. That's how it works. I think you can do white or black as well, but it becomes really difficult when you remove the background. So lime green makes it very easy to see. The brush doesn't matter because the brush will be whatever color you want it to be anyway once you've made the brush. So what we do is I like to use my studio pen for this. I crank it all up. I have it on high opacity. There you go. Just making all these patterns of the leopard. It's on purpose. I haven't taken it all the way out down to each corner because you need to have that blank. I'll show you in a second. I just want to give you sort of an idea of how you do, and then you can play with it, do your favorite patterns and make them into brushes. And it's really nifty because once you've had one pattern, I mean, you can just reuse and reuse the whole the brush. So I'm just going to delete now the photo I inserted. Now I'm just going to fill it out. I'm going to take the opacity down. Maybe that was too much, but just to give some variation, and it will actually look like animal print once we create the brush. Here we go, almost done. Just to give it a little bit of a realistic feel. In lime green, there you go. Okay, so what you do now is you duplicate it. I like to duplicate it a few times just to make sure I don't lose any of it. This is what it looks like. I use red here. You can use any color you want, and you just color in the corners and you transform. The reason I color it in is because then you can use the magnetic and it takes the whole canvas, which is what I want. Put it on magnetic because it will show you exactly half. Sorry. You take it out to the side like so. You erase the red. Go to my duplicate layer, the next layer up here. I do exactly the same thing. And transform, and I take it to the other side, like so. I erase the red. So basically I have 2 layers like this. I have an extra duplicate just in case, but it's nice to have if it's complicated patterns. Now you don't really need it because it's kind of abstract, but if it had been complicated, it would have been. I merge down. So this is what the layer looks like now. What I do, I go back to lime green, and you fill in the middle part. And you can make changes to everything if you want. If you feel, you know, could be better somewhere. I just turned down the opacity, did a lighter filling of the print, like so. Then I duplicate this layer and duplicate it a few times. Better to have extra than to find out that you need to redo the whole print. I pick my red again. I go into the colors. I transform. I pull it up. I'm just gonna remove the other ones here like this. I erase my red. I go to the next layer I had, basically like this. I do exactly the same steps over and over again, 4 times. I put it here, I transform, and instead of pulling it up, I pull it down. It's still unmagnetic. I erase the red. And when you see I have now these two, I merge them again. I merge down. So now it's just one layer. And you fill in, I see I have a little bit of red residue there. I'm just gonna remove it. So now I fill it back in to make everything super even. If you feel like there are little spots that could be better, you can make alterations. Turn the opacity down, fill them out a little bit. Like so. So now we have our animal print. Let's say we're super happy with it. It's exactly what we want. What you do is you remove the background color, like so. So it's gonna look like this. So you see, if you use black, it would be really hard to see what you're doing if you need corrections, whatever, or white or whatever. You go into your toolbox, you go into share, and you save it as a PNG file to your camera roll. Yeah? Now you can put in the background. Again, I'm just going to remove all this, add a new layer. I go into my brushes because now I'm creating the brush. Basically what we did is just to create a template. So I want to create my brush, and I'm thinking what reminds me the most of this kind of pattern would be in textures. And I really like to use the Victorian because that looks pretty much similar. So what I do is I duplicate it very easy. So very important. So you don't lose the Victorian original brush, but you duplicate it, you go into the duplicate brush. In here you have, you know, all the properties and the shape and the stroke, and you've probably done this and looked at this a million times, but you go into the source, you insert the photo, and you basically just insert the template you just made. And there you go. Now you have the brush. You change the name, you can call it Leo. There you go. And I'll show you. Let's take a yellow. And here you go. You have a brush that will cover the wallpaper. Very similar. You fill a dress out. You can make alterations, and what I really like is that you can actually smudge it. So you can, you know, still work with it. Well, good luck. And if you have questions, if I went too fast, you want more detail, let me know and I will answer you. Bye, guys.